morning, everyone. I'm hereby welcoming you all to our event, the Bioscope Mind. Before I start with it, I want you all to put your cameras on off and mute yourselves. If you have any queries, you can write it down in the chat box and we'll help you out there. But just under no circumstances, do not unmute yourselves. Okay. While the online lectures have made it stressful and our daily lives have become extremely mundane, Umang in collaboration with Aapka Sahara Foundation presents to you this exciting and informative event that will not only help you understand your inner power, but also how to use it. Join us on this discovery where you will learn how to harness your inner power and become the best version of yourself. Today, we have with us Ms. Amanpreet Nagpal, a counseling psychologist and motivational coach, as the guest speaker for this event. She is an efficient and caring counselor who has helped and guided a lot of people to cope with their hardships and traumas. She is trained in metaphor therapy. Her mission statement itself fills us with light. If you will, you will. So help me welcome Ms. Amanpreet Nagpal.
Hi, thank you so much, Kushi, and thank you for the rest of the Umang team for putting this event together. It is my pleasure to address such wonderful minds today, and I always feel excited to connect to this age group, especially because there is a lot of scope, there is a lot of excitement, there is a lot of learning, and there is a lot of hope. So, to beginning with. Happy Mental Health Day. Okay, so mental health has been important since the time we have been here on planet Earth, but it's just getting recognition now because I think we are left with no option at this point of time. We have been forced to look into ourselves in these confined environments where we had to be completely disconnected from the external world and be with ourselves. So I feel it's a great opportunity for us to explore how we can go ahead from here. So to begin with, let's start with our power, whether it's use or abuse. Um, Kushi, I'll start now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. This is amazing what internet can do. Okay. So basically, I want to understand all of us have some notion about power in our mind. Okay. So briefly, we are going to discover what we know and what all we can explore. Uh, the first thing is, I would like you all to mentally allow yourself to put your barriers down. Mentally tell yourself and imagine yourself literally putting your barriers down. And even if you want to have an hand gesture, so please go ahead and do it and literally do barriers down, and barriers down. Sometimes when we have some new information coming to us, we have our preconceived notions, we have some previous information that we like to tally with. But if we go with an open mind, there is a lot of scope for us to learn a lot of new things. Okay, so putting your barrier down, amazing. Now we start with power, its use and abuse. So what is considered as power in general for most of us? Okay, it's some people consider it as money. People feel power is about having a good status. Then some people think because they have very high IQ, so they are very powerful because they can do anything. Their memory is great, they're working great. Then some people feel that ability to manipulate others, that is power. For some people, having higher degree, higher academics, that is power. a lot of us believed during our previous development years as human species that physical strength is power. So who used to be physically stronger used to win the battles and they were preferred over other people. And power in general, according to the dictionary term, is possession of control and authority. I don't know what just happened. Somebody doodled on this. Okay. Okay, so possession of control and authority. These are the things we consider as power. And there must be many more things that we feel are power. But let's understand what it is actually. So, how power is born? Okay, when do we see that now? Yes, at this point of time, this means power. How it is born? How we know that yes, it is existing now? Basically, whenever there are masses attached for unified purposes, that becomes the birthplace of power. For example, internet started as social media started as a thought. We all know that. And today internet and social media, because there are so many people involved and there are so many people connected just through internet and social media for unified reason that they want to be connected with the rest of the world, that has become a power source for a lot of industries. So now, more than uh, the advertisement, what we used to have earlier, our online platform has become that area where they can advertise. So it has become now people want to see, okay, how we can have more number of people, followers, likes. So all this, they are bringing a lot of people together to have power. Okay, so wherever there are masses, wherever there is presence of a lot of people for unified reason, that becomes the birthplace of power. Now what exactly power is, that's what we are trying to understand here. Okay, so power in reality is actually the way you interpret things, the way you see things. See, your power lies with your story. Okay, how you begin your understanding about life and the world around you. That is the course of power for you. And most importantly, your inner dialogue is your power. You always are in that, in touch of that voice that is inside telling you doing something, or whenever you're doing something good or bad, it is always there telling you which direction to take. So for example, suppose you have to go for shopping. Okay, now when you go to shopping area, there are a lot of options available for you. Which thought you will allow to dominate? If you want to invest in books or you want to invest in clothing, so depending on the value system that you hold, your inner dialogue will keep on pushing you towards that choice. How is that influential? Because since childhood you have been brought up with certain set of values. For a lot of people, the in the environment, education is an important aspect. So when one person goes to mall, they are looking for books, they are looking for library, or they are looking even online, they are looking for educational stuff. If the focus have been in their upbringing, if the focus have been on their presentation, so they will be looking for how they have dressed up, how they're looking. And constantly there is an inner voice. And your true power is that inner voice. And if you understand how that inner voice operates, you will become the source house of power. Remember, I just explained that wherever masses come together for unified cause. So if your internal system comes together for one unified cause, you become the powerhouse. So our focus will be majorly during this presentation and during this seminar is how we can enhance or build a healthy relationship with that inner voice that we have. Okay, so now with power comes a lot of authority, a lot of responsibility. So we can have a destructive power, and we can have the power to use used in constructive manners as well. What do I mean by destructive power? So using your resources, internal resources, to create chaos, disturbance, and dysfunctionality. Where do we see that? How does it work for us? Now, when I am in an authoritative position, we all have gotten a chance to be in authoritative position. So, how we have used that position tells us what exactly happens to us when we feel powerful. It's interesting to observe your behavior in that aspect. So, what is destructive power? So, when you are in that authority position, if you start to use punishment, that is, people start to fear you more than look up to you, more than uh, wanting to be with you. They start to fear you because you have authority position. They start to obey you right now because they don't have a choice. Because they fear that if they will not follow, they will get punished. Suppose there is an employer and he has to perform well, otherwise, he'll get fired. Right now, during this lockdown, a lot of people have gone through that fear because they felt that they have limited source of job. You as students must have faced this fear that what will happen to the college work, what will happen to the college life, how we are going to pursue our education. So you must have become much more active and much more responsible towards the choices you are making academically, because you don't want to fear or get punished for something that is very important for you. Also, destructive power is used in legitimate ways when there is legal authorities involved. So, however, we are in a country where there are a lot of legal brundle that has been going on. But at the same time, how that can be used, we are seeing how certain political parties, how certain people who are in legal powerful places are misusing their power to create destruction among people. We have been seeing that, among students, how they have been manipulated. So we need to be aware about when power is used destructively. Referent, all our social media influencers, they are influencers for a reason. Okay, so we with young minds, we are looking up to them, we are following them. The reason, we only know why are we following the inner voice we have. So when we are following them, they have power over our decisions. For example, uh, everyone on social media looks happy. how that how is that even possible? We are creature, we are beings of nature, we are born to experience all the emotions. So how just uh, how social media shows such a happy picture? So they are like both sides. Okay, there is extreme dark phase and there is extreme happy space. Where is the balance? And when there is dark place, people who are following the darker internet, they get influenced by that. When there is a happy space, they get influenced by that. But It's a reference of it. They are taking a reference of power which is not being constructive for them, because only one side of the coin is seen. You are not able to see the flip side of the coin. So it's important to choose your role models wisely. So power can be used in destructive manners through all these sources. Let's now understand how power can be used in constructive manner in which all sources. So what is constructive power? Using your resources for growth, progress, and nurturance. If we have a direction, we can definitely follow the path. Then we know we are choosing. But sometimes we don't even know that we have a direction or we have a choice. Like till the time we are in that student age, we always feel, no, I don't have a choice but to study, but to do this subject. But later on, when you realize right now you are in FY, SY, or third year, and now you see, oh yeah, 12th May I could have taken that other subject also. Or maybe last year I could have taken that subject also. Okay. So it's okay. You're in experimental phase and you're using your experience as construction. Okay. You're using your experience to grow. You're using your experience to progress in your life. As far as you're doing it to nurture yourself, those all that experience is brilliant. But the day your inner voice, the day you start sulking, taking reference of your past experience, you are heading towards a destructive pattern. So be aware when that voice is nurturing and helping you grow, and when that voice has taken a different role where it has been completely destructive. Okay. So the reward system, when somebody, we do something nice for someone, okay, because we adore them, we love them, so we have the power of being kind, we have the power of being compassionate. We use the reward system to make them know that yes, you matter in our life. So that is using your internal power for growth, for progress, for nurturance. We have, we acquire some expertise, we acquire some information in one of the area or one of the specific field that reflects uh, our interest towards the construction of better environment. Okay, we are not using our information to be destructive. Suppose I have the information to create a better garden, so now, when I'm gathering that information to have a better garden, I can either use it to create wonderful, beautiful garden for public use, for my house use, or for health purposes, or I can use that information about plants and slowly start to destroy them. It's all about the value system I have and where I want to head when I am in that system. So focus when you're doing something, where it is heading, why are you doing that? Okay. And influence. When you become a celebrity, or when you become that influencer, or when you become, when you come into that authority position, how are you using your power makes a lot of difference. You can become an inspiration by being real, by being honest, by being true to yourself and to people who are looking up to you. All these are constructive ways to execute your power. And you all have access to these, both the sides of these parameters. Okay, so it's a choice, it's a hard choice, and it's a very tempting choice that you have to keep on reminding yourself to make. Okay, now how to identify your personal power? Okay, how do you know where you're heading? Either you're heading in a constructive way or you're heading in a destructive way. So how do you know where you're heading? First thing is observe your behavior. Your behavior will always tell you where you're heading. if you're feeling, if you're feeling okay, you're not feeling okay. See, we talk a lot, we have a lot of information, we have a lot of data, but most important thing is how we are behaving. I may talk about bigger ideas, I may talk about better world, but am I heading towards that? I may talk about having a clean environment, but am I not throwing the trash on road? Am I being aware of it? Am I telling my friend not to do the same? So be aware of your behavior. Notice whether your walk and talk is matching. A lot of us, we say one thing, but we do one thing. I want to be this amazing, successful person in my life. Where, and I am not putting any effort to be that successful person. I have this big dream, but I am not putting any effort towards that dream. I'm not taking any steps. Dreams require some amount of energy to be put into them, right? Today, if I dream, dreams are extremely important, okay? If we don't have a dream, we don't have a direction. So, dreams are extremely important. But what is the use of having a dream if I'm not buckling myself up every day and like, okay, let's go for it, let's do it. What do I need to do to get there? What do I need to do to get there? If you are just having dreams, then they are a hoax dreams, okay? And we need to be aware of that. This is all about being aware about your actions, whether, and the more you'll be able to connect to your voice and your actions, more powerful you will feel. You will identify what exactly is happening inside. Then identify your point of trust. When do you learn to trust yourself? It's a very basic thing, okay? We want people to trust us, we want our friends to trust us, we want our family to trust us. But when do we learn to trust ourselves? When we learn to be independent, okay? When we are relying on our internal sources to build our external life. That's the point where we start to learn to trust ourselves. So observe these few points, observe these few moments where you felt, yes, I can do this. Remember the first time you you learned to drive and then you eventually could drive. Then remember the first time you learned to write and then you started believing that now, yes, I can write. Remember the first time you started using technology and then you started believing in yourself, yes, now I can use technology and I can use it for good as well, right? So acknowledge those moments of trust where you started to become an independent individual. Okay, we are called adults, we are called we have this growth phase for a reason, because we are learning to be independent. Independent means depending on your inner sources. In, okay, it's not out dependent, where we are depending on our parents for a lot of resources so far. So we need to be aware that we can only learn to trust. Those moments of trust will come where we had a sense of independence. Then, where are you spending your time? It's extremely important. A lot many times we say we want to do one thing, but we are spending our time on another. I want to study accounts, but I'm spending my time watching Netflix. I want to, so I need to be clear where I want to go, okay, rather than focusing on what I don't want. I need to have my list and don't want to list. Okay. But I need to focus on what I really want. It's important for all of us to understand that when I say, don't think about pink elephant, we all end up thinking about pink elephant. So it's important for us to acknowledge the fact where we want to put our energy to. What do we want? We keep on saying, I don't want this, I don't want my parents to disturb, I don't want, I don't want to be dependent on people. But rather than that, start focusing your energy on what you want. I want to be a constructive human being, I want to be a compassionate human being, I want to be a kinder person, and how I can act towards being that. I want to be independent, I want to be financially independent, I want to be emotionally independent. Do I have these goals? And if I don't have, why I don't have these goals? For myself, to enhance my personal power, to have a good relationship with my inner voice. So focus your energy and spend your energy on doing things that you really want, and be aware of what you don't want, so that when you're indulging yourself into the activities that you don't want, you know that's a red flag, and immediately shift your focus towards something that you really enjoy, something that really works for you, or something that really matters for you. Then know what you can change and what you cannot change. I really wish, a lot of us wish that my friend would be different, my parents would be different. I wish they can change. I wish my environment can change. I wish my politicians can change. I wish my world can change. But truly, the only person we can change is ourselves. It's a hard reality. Sorry to break it to you guys, but that's what it is. Till the time we keep on pushing our energy to change the world, it will not be productive. It will be a futile effort. So we need to be aware where we are, where we can change things and where we cannot. So whenever you are trying to bring some change, ask yourself, what can I change about myself to execute this? Your world around you will change, not change, but that's not in our hands. What, at least let us take care of what is there in our hand. And when you will learn to take care of what is there in your hand, you will identify your personal power. You will see, you will notice, you will feel power in each and every cell of your body, because now you know what exactly you need for your world to change. So definitely it's an important point, put your attention towards what you can change and what you cannot change. When you're irritated, ask, what am I really irritated about? It's because something I'm not able to change about myself, or it's because I'm expecting others to change. When you're frustrated, when you're angry, when you're upset, when you're disappointed, when you're disheartened, it's because you are not able to change, or it's because you're expecting world to change or your close friends to change. We all experience these emotional episodes in our life, we all do. We experience anxiety, we experience disappointment, we have episodes of sadness, we all do have that. But what I really need to ask myself is, am I asking myself to change? Can I do something within to change the situation for me? Or am I just depending on my people or environment or world to change? So be aware of your boundaries. It's important to have certain boundaries. Be aware of your boundaries, where you can change and where you cannot change, and have clear goals. Okay, what do we mean by that? Having clear goals. Having goals is extremely important. And when you will start working towards the identifying this personal power, when you will observe your behavior, when you notice that you're able to deliver what you are talking, when you will notice that how you can trust yourself more, when you are spending time on focusing what you want more than what you don't want, when you're able to channel your energy into internal change rather than spending your energy into change that cannot happen in others, you will also have clarity about your goals. That, you know what, this suits me. I think I'm good at this. And when you have that clarity, you feel more powerful. Okay. We need to have this clarity that power is an internal element. And all this we are doing for that internal element to become more stronger, for that internal voice to become more stronger. Then, how to use power efficiently for yourself and now for environment. Okay. We have understood what is power and how we used to think about power. And now we have learned to identify our powers, personal power, and how now we can use that. Now we have become that person, we have been aware about it, how we can use efficiently to be a contribution into our life and into life of people who are around us. Okay, so let your behavior precede your reputation. Okay, so when you commit something, when you say something, people should know that this person is going to do this thing. You should not be doing so, going and telling them, Are, I'm capable of doing this. I will be doing this for you. You don't worry. मेरे को तो आता है, मैं कर लूंगा. But more than what you're saying, your behavior should talk. So focus on your behavior. So your behavior should precede your reputation. Your words are your choice. We have been blessed with this amazing power of language. Okay. We are the blessed species which can use this language. And because we have this unique power, it is used and misused in multiple ways. How are we using our gift of language? Words are important. What we are telling ourselves and what we are telling our environment makes a lot of difference into our life. So, the language power, the power of language, and the power of words, you need to understand your words are your choice. We do get abusive, we do get aggressive, and we say certain things that we don't mean. What do we mean by that? If we don't mean, then we will not say such things, right? So then we end up saying it happened. It doesn't happen. We are knowingly or unknowingly choosing it. When we are children, okay, when we were when we were young, we were doing anything without thinking, right? You all must have realized, after certain age, that thinking ability starts to come in. Why that thinking ability starts to come into our life? Because for us to be conscious about our behavior and our language or words we are using or words we are choosing. So ask yourself, am I speaking compassionate words? The kind of words you're using for the world, same words you're using internally for yourself, and you are being harsh on yourself as well. You cannot be harsh on world or people around you until you have been harsh on yourself enough. So when we are kids, when we are younger, we do anything, anytime, say anything, anytime, whatever we are like, like this reflection, whatever we see in the environment, we immediately blurt that out. But when we are adults, we have the power of critically analyzing why we want to say certain things and why we don't want to say. Why I want to not say this because I'm not this person. Discover yourself, know your power. So choose your words because you have the ability to choose them. You are not randomly saying things. You're not randomly using the gift of language. It has taken centuries for this language to be developed. And how are you using it? Are you using it to troll somebody on internet, or are you using it to support a friend who's in need in compassionate way? That's a choice that you have to make, because now you have that critical filter developed, which will help you analyze whether this information, whether this way of using your words is working for you or not. So be vigilant about it. Know your three C's. Okay. This is really important for all of us. When you commit and conduct, you become confident. Today, I commit to myself that I am going to study for 1 hour. And then I don't study for 1 hour. And I say, okay, today I end up watching Netflix or some series. Let me, it's okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Not a problem. Now, what will happen there? You will not develop the trust for yourself. Okay, you will start doubting your own commitments. And we don't want that. Because if you want to be a personality that holds power, you need to value your own word. So when you say, I study for 1 hour, you decide the time, you act on that, and then you see how your confidence starts to build up. Your commitment is extremely important, not for anyone else, but for yourself. And even if you're not able to do it for some reason, you need to decide why you're not doing, asking yourself where your time is needed more. So when you commit something to yourself or to people around you, conduct it and see the amount of confidence that you'll be developing. If you are committed to your parents that I'll keep my room clean, keep your room clean. If you have committed to yourself that by this age I will be independent, be independent. That's the key of confidence, your commitment and your ability to conduct on that commitment. So if you follow this, definitely you are on your way for personal power. Always play down your achievements. I don't know where we have started doing this and how we have started doing this, but I see a lot of people, they nowadays like to brag about themselves. Whereas if you see generation 2 decades before, they always say, okay, itna tarif mat karo apna. Okay, don't talk so much good and all that thing. We are not getting to that conservative level, but we don't want to overdo our achievements, right? If we are achieving something, people know about it, we know about it. So why I need to constantly remind others that I'm an achiever? I had a recent an interesting case where this child had good IQ, okay, really good IQ, and he constantly kept on bragging about his IQ. I have this IQ, I have this IQ, I have this IQ. Amazing. But then what are you doing with that IQ? Right? So it's important for us to underplay our achievements. You are good at something and somebody else is good at something. It's important to rejoice your achievements, to enjoy you have put in effort and you have been successful about it, but don't make it a habit to always talk about it. Okay, so that way you can become a greater contribution towards yourself and to people around you. Stay objective. A lot many times we fall astray from the path we are choosing because of multiple environmental influences or internal influence. So constantly keep on asking yourself, why am I doing this? What is my goal behind this action? Even if you are doing something that you enjoy, ask yourself, what am I trying to achieve here? It's an important question to ask yourself. Always, always, always ask yourself, what am I trying to achieve by doing this? And what I am going to achieve if I do this? Okay. And if you feel it is not in alignment with the kind of person you like to be, change the plan. Your objective is extremely important. It will keep you on a path towards your destination. If you have chosen a destination, if you're yet not sure about your destination, then have a destination, design an objective for you. Like, we all have career goals. I want to do this, I want to do that. What about personal goals? What kind of a human being I want to be? What kind of a person I want to be? What kind of a friend I want to be? What kind of a family member I want to be? What about these personal goals? They are equally important. See, our life is part of many things. It cannot be one whole thing. So, if career is one important aspect, your personal life is another important aspect, then your social life is another important aspect. So, you need to ask yourself what. So, a lot of focus has been put on in career altogether. But your personal life is equally important and your social life is equally important. So ask yourself, what kind of a social person I want to be? What kind of a person I want to be for myself? These are few important questions that will help you become a contributing personality towards yourself and towards your environment. Okay. So, and this also keeps you in check, whether you are in alignment with your chosen path or not. Okay, so have these questions ready. You can write them down also. These are few amazing questions you can constantly ask to keep yourself in check. And have a motivational story. Okay, we all have some kind of story going on in our head. In fact, stories are the way we learn to connect with the world. Okay, we all have our individual stories. So if you have the power to create a story for yourself, have a motivating one. Maybe you can pick up a story from your own experience. You can ask yourself that, okay, I was really upset about that particular failure that I experienced in my life, but I'm so proud of myself how I came above it and how I still did well and how I still love myself and how I still am I doing well things after that incident also. So have a motivational story. And if you feel that you don't have a personal story, pick up a story of a person who's been a role model for you, whom you really look up to. Maybe you are primary teachers, that is like your parents, your grandparents, or your siblings, or maybe your secondary teachers, that is in your environment, your academic teachers. Have one motivational story that you can tell when you are feeling low about yourself. Then you can use it to uplift yourself again. Okay, so these are the ways you can efficiently use your powerhouse to be a contribution into your life and into your environment. Now, magnifying your power, I just want to do a quick exercise with all of you, and I hope you all are following me up till now. You guys can it would be better if you can experience this exercise with your eyes closed. Okay, uh, so just close your eyes, and now take 3 deep breaths. Breathe in and relax. Breathe in and relax. Breathe in and relax. Now imagine any recent event where you felt powerless, where you felt low about yourself, where you felt sad, or where you felt helpless. Any recent event. And now observe, what are you telling yourself? And usually what you're telling yourself is unhealthy. And now ask yourself, what do I really want to hear? and tell all those things that you really want to hear, what you really wanted to hear at that moment where you started feeling low. And now add, I admire your courage to be yourself. You are wonderful. I know you encounter challenges every day, and most of them are extremely difficult to deal with. But you choose to face them because you know you are capable. I believe in you. I acknowledge and accept all of your failures and achievements. I admire the way you allow life to flow and grow through you, in you. I admire your attitude to not give up. I know things can be difficult, but I really acknowledge your ability to deal with them. And I always, always, always believe in your ability to deal with things. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now take 3 deep breaths and open your eyes and ask yourself, how are you feeling about that same situation? So there will be some change that you'll be feeling. See the power of words, the power of self talk. A minute before, how you were feeling about a particular incident. And now, because the kind of perception you developed, because the kind of self talk you developed, you started seeing that situation differently. So your real power is within you, and you need to focus on that power by improving your self talk with yourself, by building a healthy relationship with yourself, and all the tools and all the identification that we have learned today. Use this awareness, and I'm sure that you will use your personal power to make a world a better place. So, your important vitamin E dose for today would be so you educate yourself, you become aware about things in life, you eradicate the things that are not supportive or that are not helping you grow in your desired goals, and then follow the path of enlightenment. Be the aware person. Don't just follow the crowd, don't just be in that herd, but have your personality, be a team player, but have your personality. So, this is where I stop and I leave you with this thought. If there are anything, any questions you guys need to ask, um, feel free to ask. Kushi, I hope you all are there. I cannot hear you. Kushi, I think you need to unmute yourself. Yeah, no. Still cannot hear you. Okay. I hope rest of them were there.
Yeah. Uh, your session was really insightful and interesting, ma'am. You shared us with your extremely valuable information, which was really helpful to all of us. There's no doubt we'll all be using it and implementing it in our daily lives. It's
Great.
all because of you that we now know the true meaning of power.
Great.
So, before moving on, I would like to inform every participant here that our guest speaker, Amanpreet Nagpal, has a very informative Instagram handle which has interesting topics related to every mental health insight you can read on. We'll be mentioning her Instagram handle in the comment section and the chat box. You can look up there. So we have some questions for you, ma'am. The first question is from Krish.
Okay.
He's asking how can he use his power in the lockdown to calm himself?
Sure, I'll answer that. But before that, I have this question. Were you able to follow the exercise I did in the end?
Yes, ma'am. They were completely audible and we all did it.
Okay, great, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, Krish. So, how you can use this power to calm yourself in, during this lockdown phase?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Krish, first ask yourself what is making you aggressive, what is making you uncomfortable. Okay, ask yourself that, and be aware of, are you trying to change something in your environment? Because the irritation, the frustration starts to come in when we want to change something. So we need to be much more in accepting terms. It's a pandemic situation and things are opening. Yes, it is different, it's change, and change is not always amazing when it begins. Okay, but you need to start counting the things that are working in your favor and put your focus towards things that are working, and then allow the things or accept the things that are not working for yourself. You have to be a very good advocate here for yourself, where the blessings need to win more than the difficulties. I lost your voice again. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And the next question that we have for you
Sorry,
is
what was his name? Krish.
Krish
Yes.
Patel.
Krish, another thing that you can also do when you feel that you are in situation that you cannot absolutely deal with, disconnect yourself from the situation, physically go some, like, in another room or in washroom or anywhere that you can be, and start taking deep breaths, like really, really slow and deep breaths, literally like this. So count in till four. Uh, Take a deep breath in. One, two, three, four. Hold for 2 seconds. One, two, and release. One, two, three, four. 10 cycles of this deep breath and see the difference. Great. Okay, Khushi. Go.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question we have for you is from Prachi. Is crying okay? Does that mean that she's less powerful?
Crying is extremely powerful. It's empowering, rather. It's sad that we see crying not that healthily. See, as a kid also, when we were infants, when we didn't know what is crying, what is not crying, so that is a way of expression, and no way of expression is right or wrong. Okay, it's just your way of expression. Crying is absolutely okay, as far as you are aware that this is also a phase, and this shall too pass. You're not being harsh on yourself. You're not being unkind to yourself when you are crying. So at least one person need to be kind to yourself, that is you. So when you're crying, be there for yourself, cry your heart out, and then ask yourself, okay, now what can I do about it?
Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question that we have is from Prajvi. That does the inner power and the power of manifestation have any relation?
Yes. That's the only relation that matters. So if you are aware about your internal power, then only you'll be able to manifest with confidence, right? Otherwise you'll be always in that doubt. ये होएगा नहीं होएगा पता नहीं क्या होएगा. So manifestation is a beautiful term. It's a glorified term of goals. Okay, so it's like if you have your goals and you're putting your efforts to achieving them, of course they are going to succeed.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. That was all that we had for questions. It was a really insightful session. We all really enjoyed it. And now I'm over to Abitat, and she'll give us the word of thanks.
Sure. Thank you, Khushi, for being a wonderful host.
Yeah, thank you so much. Just a second.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, audible, audible. I hope people have not fallen to sleep. It's very difficult to know.
No, you were absolutely just like amazing.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Kushi. It feels really special to be giving this vote of thanks speech today. I would like to begin by thanking Ms. Amanpreet Nagpal for taking out time from a busy schedule to be present here and giving us insights on mental health. I would like to thank Aapka Sahara Foundation for their constant support throughout planning this event. I am immensely grateful for the support of the college faculty, which ensured smooth functioning of this event. This event would have been an ideation without implementation, without the support of our lovely audience. So, big thank you to them too. Lastly, we'll be sending a feedback form. Kindly fill the same, as your valuable feedback will help us improve in the future. Thank you.